Hey guys, Big Red 310s here again to do another All Sides of the Wrestling World. I'm back doing reviews. I know I've been very late with these kind of things, but you all should know that I'm finally done with high school. My last exam was Thursday, so I've been out of school for a few days now. All I have left is my graduation, which is 2 weeks from now, and I'm officially graduated from high school. As you all know, I'm very busy during the week. I have no time to watch wrestling anymore. And ever since my car accident, like I said, where I'm trying to make sure to get as much sleep as possible during the week, which is why I don't watch as many shows as I used to. But do know that I do care, and I am in the process of catching up. I know I was a little behind on Chikara. That's why I kind of doing everything right now. I have the Chicago and the Lafayette shows, but I don't want to. By the time I finished I'll Be a Mummy's Uncle, there was already too much. I didn't want to add those two shows on as well. So those will come next week or whenever I do the next one. But notice that I will catch up. I will make it up to you guys. I know I'm missing the Homecoming, Rise to Prove from Ring of Honor, from Dragon Gate. I'm missing a lot. I'm going to watch the 6 shows last year I didn't see, and the 3 shows this year I didn't see, and the 3 Evolve shows I didn't see, and I'm going to see every single CZW show, from Tangleweb 4 through the most recent one, the one with Mia Yim and Greg Excellent at TLC match. Oh no, Best of the Best. Till Best of the Best. Partly because I actually enjoy both those promotions, CZW and Dragon Gate USA. I actually enjoy watching their product. CCW especially, their storyline development is excellent. Excellent. And I want to see every show because of that. So, and I'll just throw them in on the reviews. I'm going to keep it old and new. Like right now, I'm doing some old Chikara shows, but I'm also doing I'll Be a Mummy's Uncle, which is fairly recent, and Border Wars, which is very new. And so basically, when I do the next one, I'll do the 2 new Chikara shows, and I'll throw in old Dragon Gate, old CCW, old Ring of Honor, and I'll throw in something new as well. I'll mix it up. I'll make it so every review has something refreshing and something interesting. Every review will be different, because I don't like to do what everyone else does on YouTube. And for those asking why I don't do individual reviews, I feel, look, I get a consistently good amount of views on these videos. I get around, I would say, 900 to 1,000 views on my All Sides of the Wrestling World videos. And usually, I'm not the type of guy that I'm not the type of guy that cares about getting as many views as possible, but I do feel that with my fan base, I've had a pretty good following on here for the past few years. With my fan base, I do try to keep them happy. If I notice that I'm doing stuff that they're not liking very much, then, maybe I'll, because I enjoy, my enjoyment level making every video is about the same. So if any video comes up where my fan base isn't liking it too much, I try to change things up and make it appealing to them, just to keep them happy. And so my views on these reviews have been fine, and I feel if I do individual reviews, each review will feel less and less special. It's logic. The more videos you do, the less special they feel. That's just the way it is. That's fact. There's some, based on the new YouTube layout, now that you can't X out videos out of your subscriptions page, I've watched so much less YouTube and so much less reviews. There's some guys that I watch their straight shoot videos, like Instant Classic, NYG for Life 123. I watch his stuff. I watch Trademark stuff. I watch LVs. I watch True Slayer, and Sanders. But really, not much more than that. I try to, but it's just hard. And I see very little reviews these days at all, because there's just so many in my inbox. So I'm trying to make each review feel special. That's why I like these type of videos. So yeah, we're not going to go too long. I'm not going to go more than 25 minutes. I will redo the video if I go more than 25 minutes. And let's do this. All right, let's start off with Border Wars. Border Wars I thought was a great show. I should first say the television building up, Showdown to the Sun and Border Wars were both really good. You'll see the ratings in the description box. I don't need to go over all of them. The Blind Destiny Challenge stuff that they did I thought was cool, but I thought it took up too much time of the Showdown in the Sun build. I thought they could have... not Blind Destiny, the March Mayhem stuff. That took up too much time, in my opinion, of the Showdown in the Sun build. They should have pushed that to another week, because it really was taking up a lot of the time when Showdown in the Sun was coming up. They should have done that right after. They should have spaced the tapings better. But I understand why they did it. And the blow-off, Jay Lethal, Adam Cole, Ciampa, and Mike Bennett was a really good match. That was one of the better Ring of Honor matches on TV that I had seen in a long time. Like, that was really, really good stuff. Michael Elgin, Kyle O'Reilly, I also remember being a really, really good main event. But, you know, not... Still, it doesn't mean it should have been saved for another time. And then when you come to Border Wars, the Briscoes versus Coleman and Alexander, I remember really, really liking. I remember really, really liking that match. Mike Mondo, Matt Taven was also a very, very, very fun match from the same show as the March Mayhem show. But yeah, the Briscoes versus Coleman and Alexander. I think that might be Coleman and Alexander's best match in Ring of Honor. I'm not sure. I'd have to look back. But that was good. And Mike Mondo, Matt Taven, and Ciampa was also a good match. Ciampa's best matches in Ring of Honor, besides the Jay Lethal match, but his best matches in Ring of Honor before his match with Lethal, in my opinion, his two best matches were his match with Homicide at Honor Takes Center Stage and his match with Matt Taven. Matt Taven and Homicide were Ciampa's two best opponents. And then Jay Lethal had a match with him, and it was better than both of those. But still, good stuff. A lot of people were complaining that Matt Taven got too much offense in. I didn't care. I thought it was fine, considering that you know, they actually want to use him on TV. I don't think we're going to see him much at the house shows, if at all. I think he's really going to be kept to the TV show, kind of like how Shiloh Jones and Chris Silvio, kind of like how they are, except he'll be more of a regular character. Kind of like how what Mike Mondo used to be, until I guess now Mike Mondo, from what I've read, is appearing on more house shows. So yeah, good for Matt Taven. Oh yeah, and Mike Mondo was on pay-per-view, so yeah, he'll definitely be a regular character. Good for Matt Taven. He had a good match with Ciampa, which is not easy. Even though I like Ciampa, that's nothing against Ciampa. The D-Line, Body Snatcher, and Black Ice. I think these guys, you know, I think they're fine. I only saw one match of theirs, and it was against wrestling's greatest tag team. Not the best match to, you know, showcase your abilities, but they were fine from what I saw. From what I've heard, they did some other cool stuff with the Briscoes, so I kind of want to see that. Los Ice Creams and Ophidian versus the Colony, I thought was a great Chikara showcase match. I mean, it was a good match, but it was just a great showcase and accomplishing everything it needed to be. It showed how athletic these guys are. It showed how these guys are good wrestlers. It showed the trios action. It showed the comedy. It showed the gimmicks. It was, in my opinion, it was a very good representation of Chikara. And Davey Richards Rhino, I thought was okay. I was just kind of bored. And I was looking forward to the match, too. I don't know. Just wasn't that into it. So yeah, the build for Showdown in the Sun and the build for Best in World was really good. I liked all the storylines going into the show. I liked what they did with Steen and Davey. I thought some of their in-ring segments were really good. Briscoes Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team I didn't really care about. I was still excited for the Fight Without Honor stipulation, but I didn't care about the build. The Lethal Ciampa build was really good. And the Young Bucks, Mike Mondo, All Night Express, TJP, their build was okay. But Eddie Edwards versus Rhino, I thought was a decent opener. I was kind of in and out of the match. Like, the match would captivate my attention, then I would kind of be like, okay, now I'm just watching wrestling. And then it would captivate my attention again, then I would again doze off. But, you know, I was kind of back and forth, but I still found it semi-enjoyable. You know, it was all right. I'd give it 2 3/4. I saw, you know, it was a decent opener. I like Rhino in Ring of Honor. I know my star ratings say otherwise, but I really do like him in Ring of Honor. I think he's something different. I think he adds a lot to the roster. He has a unique character. He can only help. Him being in the ring with the other guys only makes them look better. You know, I like Rhino in Ring of Honor. The Young Bucks and Mike Mondo versus the All Night Express and TJP. This, in my opinion, was the second best match on the show. This was so good. Oh my god, really, really good 6-man tag. Like, a lot of fun. I almost gave this 3 3/4. I thought it was that good. It was just nonstop action. Kenny King did a tremendous hot tag that I popped huge for. It was just there's nothing more I could say. It was just a really fun match. All guys worked hard, bunch of dives. Six mans are usually fun, but the way they set this match up was excellent. So good giving credit to them. Then Lethal Ciampa was another really good match. I really liked that match a lot as well. They had a great aggression. The storyline was excellent. The build was great. I know a lot of people didn't like that Lethal went over. I didn't care. I thought the way they did it with Lethal, like kneeing him 10 times in a row before giving him the lethal combination, and Ciampa had already kicked out of a lethal injection. I thought that was fine. It didn't really bother me. I know it freaked out a bunch of people. I didn't really care. I thought, here's what I say to people that were really upset that Ciampa lost. Did you really want to see Ciampa versus Kevin Steen on iPay-per-view? Because Jay Lethal is near the upper card. And so basically, by saying that you thought Ciampa should have gone over, you think Ciampa's undefeated streak gimmick was strong enough to go up into the main event scene. That's what you're saying. So if you're saying that, then obviously you want his loss to be impactful. So you want his first loss to be, like some people said, he shouldn't have lost until he challenged for the ROH World Title. You would have had to see Ciampa versus Steen on pay-per-view. And I don't think anyone wants to see that. So I thought that, because I don't think Ciampa's ready for that upper echelon scene yet. So I thought ending it to an upper mid-card guy like Lethal was fine. I really didn't care. I don't know. I freaked out a lot of people, though. Lance Storm, Mike Bennett was another really fun match. I don't know if it was better than the Showdown in the Sun match. I need to see that match on DVD because I saw that stuff live. Live, that match was great. But this was really good. It wasn't as good. I think I can recognize that the quality wasn't as good as the Showdown in the Sun match. I felt like Lance was holding back a little bit. I mean, not Lance. I think they were holding back a little bit because I figured they were doing a rubber match. People were also freaking out that Mike Bennett lost here, and I was just like, guys, it's clearly a best-of-3 series. No big deal. So not everyone calm down about that. So yeah, I thought Mike, and I know people, like some people said, oh, they could have done like with Mike Bennett, Steve Corino, where Steve Corino lost 3 times in a row. But the difference is that was on house shows. This one is on pay-per-view and is one of the marquee matches on each pay-per-view. And in my opinion, I think their blow-off match will probably be, it's not going to be best in the world. It's going to be, I think, at Death Before Dishonor. In order for that match to mean something, that match is probably going to be the semi-main event or the third from the top match. So that match needs to mean a lot, and I think it can only mean a lot when Lance Storm wins the second match. Michael Elgin, Adam Cole, this was just a really good match. Mechanically, the work was very, very good. I didn't like it as much as most people. It's just there wasn't a lot of hook for me. It was just a match. Storm, Bennett, Lethal, Ciampa, and the 6-man all had a little more. I mean, the 6-man was just a better match, but Lethal, Ciampa, Storm, Bennett, because of the storyline, I was more into the match than I was for Elgin Cole. I mean, well, not into is not the right word. I was really into all 3 matches, but I cared more about the other 2 than I did this one, just because there seemed to be more on the line. Roderick, Strong, Finlay, I thought was okay. I didn't like this that much. It went too long. This got more time than any other match on the show besides the main event. I just wasn't into it. I'm sorry. Briscoes versus Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team, Fight Without Honor. The Fight Without Honor was going fine. I wouldn't say good. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, the match was going along really good until the shitty finish. In my opinion, the match was going along fine until the shitty finish. I thought the table spot was very, very poorly handled, where like Jade is like on an electric chair. I mean, Shelton is an electric chair, and Jade just kind of slips off the table. It wasn't very effective. They had the crowd going crazy when Jade was about to German suplex him into the table. And then the electric chair spot and no one popped. I thought they didn't make a good use of the table bump. I know they're trying to be safe and all, but if you're not going to do a table bump that's going to get a pop, why even do it? So I didn't like that. And then they had the shitty finish with Charlie Haas and the ragdoll on Jay. I mean, the work for most of the match was fine. Maybe I would say it was enjoyable. I wouldn't say it was good. I would say it was enjoyable. And, but yeah, it was okay. And then with the shitty finish, 2 3/4. What can I say? It was disappointing. I was expecting a lot from this match, too. I was looking forward more to this match than any other match on the card. Yes, I really mean that. But that just goes to show how far the Fight Without Honor stipulation has fallen. Davey Richards versus Kevin Steen was a great match. I think Ben Turpin said it best. Simple. They kept it simple. And it was simple enough for it to be a great match with great drama. I love the finish. Excellent stuff. I had a feeling they were going to do a rematch, and obviously, as just announced yesterday, they're doing a rematch at Best in the World, where Davey's going to play more heel, and if Davey loses, he can't challenge for the title anymore. Hey, that's cool. I can understand that, so that's fine by me. So that's why I didn't care that this match didn't go all like. I've heard some people complain, man, I don't know why they didn't go all out for Steen's title win. Well, because there's going to be a rematch. The next match, I think their next match is going to be better than this. In fact, I'm pretty sure their next match is going to be better than this. But, so yeah, that's why I would buy Best in the World. But this was a great match. Great drama, great exchange of near falls, and simple. Simple. Great show, in my opinion. Just a great main event. And look at the undercard. Matches 2 through 5. Just consistently very good wrestling. The 6-man Lethal Ciampa, Storm Bennett, Elgin Cole. 4 very, very good matches in a row, plus a great main event, an opener that was okay, a Fight Without Honor that was enjoyable until a shitty finish, and then a Roderick Strong Finlay match that I didn't like. But, good stuff. it was a great wrestling show. It's very consistent. You don't need to have, I said this before, you don't need to have like 2 4-star matches or X amount of 4-star matches to be a great show. If the show from top to bottom is very fun, then it's a great show. Easy. So that was a great show. 8.25 out of 10. Good job, Ring of Honor. Then we get to the Chikara shows. I'll go through the February ones really quickly just because, there's no need to really harp on shows that occurred 3 months ago. A Death Worse Than Fate and Caught in Spider's Den. Both very good shows. I think I like the Death Worse Than Fate a little more. Highlights of a Death Worse Than Fate. Colt Cabana versus Cobalt I thought was a fun match. I know a lot of people didn't like that match. A lot of people. But I did. I thought it was fun for what it was. The 8-man was really, really good stuff. A lot of great 8-man spots throughout the match. Cerro Del Rey Archibald Peck was tons of fun. And the main event I thought was very, very good. The drama was excellent. And even though I knew that Fist was winning, there was a near fall where Ultramantis Black gave I think he gave Icarus his finisher, the Cosmic. I can't remember it. And I legitimately thought the match was over and Spectral Envoy were going to win the titles. Even though I knew Fist lost. I lost sense of all reality, and I was just like, holy shit. The Spectral Envoy are going to win the titles. And whenever a match does that, I mean, come on, you can't complain. So really, really good match. The last 4 matches are all very good matches. I'd give it a 7.25 out of 10. It's a very consistent show from top to bottom. Lots of good wrestling. Well, I wouldn't say very consistent. It's the Jigsaw Brody Lee match, in my opinion, was actually the worst match on the show. And I know Trademark thought it was one of the best matches on the show, but I wasn't into it. Whereas Saturine versus El Hijo del Ice Cream, I was super into. I mean, it was just too short. I can't give it more than 2 3/4. That's all it deserves. But it was a really fun match, nonetheless. I mean, it was too short. I thought they should have gone a little longer for the time they went. I was really entertained by that match, and the crowd got really behind Saturine. She's talented. She's really talented. Not gonna lie. So yeah, I wouldn't say very good show. I would say pretty good show. 7.25 out of 10. There's good stuff on it. Don't go crazy over it, but the main event is a lot of fun. Good stuff. Caught in the Spider's Den. This one was also good. Not as good as a Death Worse Than Fate, but this also had, Grant Akuma and Chuck Taylor was a really good match. Archibald Peck Ophidian I thought was good. I guess I didn't like as much as most. 3.0 versus Throwbacks was fucking hilarious. That match was funny as shit. Oh my god, 3.0 are great. Colt Cabana Ultramantis Black was a really, really, really funny match. A lot more comedy on this show than the other one. And the main event was another really, really good match. It was a fun, another fun 8-man. Oh, no, not the main event. The semi-main. The main event was just a really good match between Kingston and Gerard. Good storyline progression and a good enough finish. But yeah, there's more comedy on this show, but it's also very good. Pretty good, like the other one. There's a bunch of good matches on the show. It's just I don't know how to say it. I mean, if you add up my star ratings of the first one and divide them by 8, I'm pretty sure they'd be higher than if you did the same for the second show. I mean, they'd be lower than if you did the same for the second show, but I enjoyed the first show more. I don't really know why. Maybe because I think the first one had better storyline progression, which is what matters to me. But the comedy on the next show and maybe the wrestling on the next show is better. But as an overall show, I thought the first show was better. Okay, the Canada double shot. Green Ice, and it's how you play the game. Green Ice I really liked. I like Cobalt a lot. I don't know why, but I do. I think he's really, really good. I mean, he's clearly young. He's a little inexperienced, but I don't know what it is. I'm always super into watching him wrestle. Whenever he's wrestling, I'm like, wow, I'm really into this guy. Yay, Cobalt! Even though, I don't know what it is. If he's watching this video, you're good. I don't know. I can't really explain why you're good, but you're good. I like watching you wrestle. Good job. So him and Cerro Del Rey was a fun match for how long it lasted. Thought it could have gone a little longer. The 6-man was fun. Again, too short though. Fire at Brody Lee was a decent squash. No, it was a fun squash. Wasn't as good as the previous 2 matches, but it was still, I guess, fun to watch. Just, I thought Fire Ant should have gotten a little more offense in. He is one of the better guys. He is one of the better workers in the company. I thought that he just could have been treated a little better. Dasher Hatfield, Archibald Peck. This might be the funniest match I have seen from Chikara I don't want to say ever, but it's close to that. I was dying throughout this match. I was dying, and I saw this match on a laptop on a car ride home with my whole family in the car, and I was bursting out laughing the entire time. That's how good both these guys are. I was going crazy, and the wrestling was really good, and the storyline progression was great. This match is everything that is Chikara. I told us a trademark. The best representation of Chikara Pro Wrestling is Dasher Hatfield versus Archibald Peck. It was hilarious. The wrestling was really good. The storyline progression was excellent. It was everything that is Chikara rolled into one. This is the perfect Chikara match. Whenever anyone wants to ask me, what is Chikara? I show them this match, and that explains everything, in my opinion. That's how good this match was. The Spectral Envoy, Batiri, Colony, Los Ice Creams was a super fun 8-man. I love these matches so much. I just think it's a really entertaining match. It's a really great way to get some teams some points, and they're always a lot of fun. So definitely no complaints there. Definitely, I was super entertained by that match, I must say. It was just a really, really, really good wrestling match. El Generico Tim Donst I was disappointed by. I thought that could have been a little better. I don't know. I just thought that could have... I don't know. Eddie Kingston Ophidian I was very disappointed by as well. Man, what do you want me to say? Quackamush and Jigsaw versus 17 in the Shard I thought was good storyline progression. I really liked that. And the main event I thought was very, very good. Do I want to say Chikara match of the year so far? I think so. Nothing else is really coming to mind. I haven't seen the Canada, Ohio, Indiana double shot, which I heard the El Generico Cerro del Rey match was great. But right now, this is my Chikara match of the year. I thought everything building into the match was excellent. The drama was excellent, and I guess I might as well. I mean, I don't really give spoiler alerts, but it doesn't really. I mean, I'm pretty sure a bunch of people already know. 3.0 won the titles here, and it came out excellent. The crowd went crazy. The locker room stormed the ring. It was a really, really great moment, and it added a lot to the match as well. Another 3 3/4 star. Another really good title defense from Fist. They've had a really good run, even though Taylor, Gargano, and Icarus have kind of interchanged amongst each other. But good stuff. 7.25 out of 10. Another really fun show from Chikara. This one would have been higher if the Eddie Kingston Ophidian and El Generico Das and Fire Ant Brody Lee match had been a little better. Then I probably would have ranked this above the previous two shows. But I probably put it on the same level. Maybe I put it above both of them. Nah, I can't say that. I still think I like the first one from February a little better. But still, nonetheless, another good Chikara outing. It's how you play the game. I didn't like the show that much at all. Nothing really blew me away. Jigsaw Mr. Touchdown. Touchdown was very athletic. Fitting Dasher Hatfield I was disappointed with. 3.0 Labor to Batiri was a fun match. Fun 6-man. Black and Hollywood versus 17 the Shard I thought was just okay. I didn't like it as much as Quack and Jigsaw versus 17 the Shard because the storyline progression wasn't as good. Archibald Peck versus Chuck Taylor. I do remember this being my bad. Archibald Peck Dasher Hatfield wasn't the funniest match I've seen in Chikara. This match was. The previous match, I remember saying to myself, the previous match had the combination of comedy, wrestling, and storytelling. But this is the one that was just pure comedy. This is probably the funniest match I've ever seen in Chikara. This is the match I was just on the floor reeling. You know, so Archibald Peck is so great. So when I see his name, I automatically assume. But this was a really, really funny match. I was really into this. Bravo to both men. Great, great, great job. Climbing the Swarm was a little disappointing, but I understand what they were trying to do. Eddie Kingston, Brody Lee, I thought was a very good match, but I don't know. I didn't like it as much as most people. A lot of people gave this match 4 stars. I didn't see it. I thought it was a good match, but nothing more. Chikara, I'll be a mummy's uncle. This was a good show. This had very good storyline progression. There was great storyline progression in Black Ophidian. There was, good storyline progression between Cobalt and Saturnine. I love Cobalt. I love watching him wrestle. And I like Saturnine. I was really looking forward to this match. I thought it should have gone a little longer. It only went like 5 minutes. But from what I saw, I really liked. But unfortunately, there was just not enough wrestling for me to give it. I can't give it more than 2.5. Los Maximos versus QT Marshall and Jack Bonza versus Fist versus the Bravados. Again, I really like these 8-man tags. Good match. Dragonfly Jacob Hammermeyer was whatever. Cerro del Rey Kodama I didn't like. That match I didn't like. And I understood the storyline progression. I wasn't really into it. Greg Granakuma, I understood the storyline progression, but I was also really into the match, so that wasn't that bad. But this was also too short, though. But the storyline progression was really good. The main event was a very, very good match. I love this Gekido stuff. I really do. I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm really interested in it. We'll see what happens. But it was a very good wrestling match. Mixed Martial Archie versus Mr. Touchdown. Mixed Martial Archie is Archibald Peck, who has a new gimmick. This was a great, great, great segment. Archibald Peck is the man. This show's a good show. The storyline progression is really good, and the wrestling is good enough for me to like it. That's it for me. I'm Big 10. I'm out, guys.